In the last video, we verified that our launch's success case works as we expect. What remains is our two error cases. Testing our validation and error cases is almost more important than testing the success. It's where we find out how our API reacts when things don't go according to plan. So let's jump in. Let's take this request code for our success case, and I'll copy that into our first error case here. When we catch one of the required properties as missing. Let's make our test async. And inside the callback, I'll paste the code to make our launch's request. This time, we're passing in an object that's missing one of the required properties. A property like the launch date. So we can actually reuse this launch data without date object. The one we used when we were matching our success case. So we send the launch data, missing our launch date, and we expect to get back a 400 response, because that's a bad request. Now, we should probably validate the body of our response to make sure that we're getting the correct error. The error message should be different between our two test cases here. So what we're going to say is, again, using the just expect function, we expect the response body, and this time we want to match an object exactly. So there's gotta be a matcher function that helps us do this. Let's see. We have our toMatchObject function that matches an object partially, and we also have this toStrictEqual function that checks two objects that must have the same type, as well as structure, including all of their properties. I think we can use this. So we expect the response body to strictly equal this object that comes back in our controller. This one that says error, missing required launch property. So I'll copy that and pass that in to our equality check. Do you think we've done things correctly? Let's see. Our tests have run, and this time we're making 2 post requests, and all of our tests are passing. So far, so good. Let's copy our test over here and use this as a base for our invalid date case. Again, our function needs to be async. And what we'll do is pass in a post request to /launches. And this time we need a new object. We can't just pass in the object without a date. We need to create one that has the launch data with an invalid date. So let's take our complete launch data and change the launch date to be Zoot. That's not a date. And now we'll take this object, and in our test, let's see what response we get when we try to create a new launch. It'll be a 400 response, but this time we won't get back that the required properties are missing, but instead that we have an invalid launch date. So let's set the error correctly. And we should indent our code correctly. Okay, it's time. We've written our 4 tests Is everything passing? Beautiful. Our server is logging that we're making 4 requests and we're getting 4 check marks in a test run that's taking about half a second. Now, we could test many more different cases, even for our launches endpoints. For example, we could check for our success and upcoming properties in the success case. Those should be set to true. And our flight numbers, again in the response, should increase one by one if we keep adding new launches. We would add those using the exact same functions that we've been using here. The one thing that is different that we may need to add in the future is if we're using a database and we want to mock out the functionality of that database like we talked about earlier. We'll get there. We'll be talking about mocking when doing API tests later in the course as well. For now, I'm confident enough that our code works. Tests are all about giving us the confidence that our code works as expected. If they're helping us with that, our tests are doing their job. That's all for now, and I'll see you in the next one.